All right, the session being recorded now. All right, so what are the things you need to work on, or what you not understanding? Because you said you use the strat now, but you're not profitable from the notes I got from the meeting, Zoom meeting setup.
Yeah. So definitely still learning and practicing the strat. I think that's what I'm doing right now. I think it's just mainly the consistency and definitely time frame or instruments, and for that I wanna pick your brain a little bit on it too. What kind of like, because from the strat, people go from they go on the daily up down to the 30 minute to an hour.
Are you
So
talking? Let me stop you there. Is that for day trading or just you saying period? Because actually we go from the year all the way down. So I was just making sure you knew that.
yeah.
All
No,
right,
no,
cool.
definitely. Yeah, definitely. No, you're right. Yeah, the more on the day trading and stuff, like yeah, for the day trading, people look at the on the daily time frame. So I just want to check. I've been checking your YouTubes and your shorts on that one. I'm just trying to see what is working for you that maybe that can definitely consider that or copy it. To be honest, copy kind of like your strategy, your not only the strategy, right? Your time frame, your routine, your which instruments are you focusing on,
All right, cool. All right, so you basically got the full understanding of the daily break and different breaks. I will say this. One of my main ones that I do use is a daily break, right? Um,
Mhm.
like I'm looking at this right here. Can you see my screen, right?
Yep.
All right, like I mean, there's a perfect setup on QQQ almost, right? And I'm gonna tell you why it's just almost. Obviously, we got a hammer right here, right? So tomorrow we're looking
Mhm.
for a break, and let me see if I can get my magnet off here. All right, and we're looking for a break. Obviously, boom, and come and take out this high, right? I'm only using red because I don't feel like changing it. Right.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we're
Yeah, I
looking to
got you.
take out
Yeah.
right. We're looking to take out this high right here, right? That's like the
Yep.
basic idea that you got also, right? You understand that standpoint
Yeah.
of like the strat. All right, cool. I'm gonna change the color just so that's what we basically looking for to come and take out this, right? All right. So a lot of times people forget, even if you go in, okay, you're going enter on this daily, so you're expecting this move to happen on a daily, right? Um, that in a day. Like we looking for this to take this out in a day, right? This pre-market at some point is going to start pushing at 4 o'clock in the morning and take this out, especially when we having 24-hour markets and stuff like now. But also you want to come down to your 4 hour and check that, right? Like, all right, we got an inside 4 hour. So even though it will break here, this also could be a target, right? Small target, but it would be a target of about like $1 or something, right? So that would be a target. This would also be a target, and this also would be a target, right? And this is the main target we're looking for off the daily, and we'd be looking for this to play out in 4 hours, and then we're just going through each time frame to look for actionable signals, right? Like it's not one on the hour, right?
Hmm.
And obviously this is today, so I'm just going through. The main thing to focus on, like if you hop in a trade, let's say it breaks, you don't catch the daily. All right, we got this 15 minute right here. Like let's say the market was open. We're looking for that actionable signal, but not only that, we're looking for this just to play out within 15 minutes, right? Like sometimes a
Hmm.
lot of people forget that. I don't know if you knew that, but whatever time frame you kind of enter that trade on, you're looking for it to play out in that time frame, right? Even if you go down to the 5 minute, right? If you go down to the 5 minute, if you entered here on this inside candle right here, hope is this color of the screen clear for you to see on
Yeah.
the all right, cool. So I'm just use this red line right here. Well, actually, I'll just change it to if I have a 5 minute. Um, well, I don't think I have a 5 minute. What's the name? But I use a 15 real quick. Right. All right. So when we entered here, in 15 minutes, it came and took out, you know, all of these small targets, on the way up. And then obviously we had this would have been um the next target to take out, right? But obviously you'd be scaling out of whatever position you had took on the way up. And as you can see, we didn't hit it, right? And take out that. But we want that in 15 minutes because what happened is the next 15 minutes will come and it could reverse on you, right? Because you took it on a 15-minute time frame. Now, if you took it on a daily, then you know you're gonna probably go ahead and wait it out and take profit along the way going up this way.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to make sure that was like a clear thing because a lot of people had trouble with that. So I didn't know if you knew or understood that part. I think I added it into the course, but I just want to make sure that you had an understanding of that. And so
Yeah.
so since you've been trading the strat,
Oh yeah.
what's one of the setups that you like using right now?
Yeah, so yeah, I was gonna ask you that, but yeah, but no, that's a good question. For me, like I'm seeing it is about seeing the pattern, right?
Right.
I think that's why I'm liking this strategy because you can easily recognize for me it's like two reversals. Two
Okay.
reversals
Okay.
are
Two.
becoming really clear, especially their hammers, especially like the QQ. Yeah, like that one.
Yeah, like this
It's
position right
nice and
here.
obvious, you know.
Yeah.
But I've been yeah I live in Europe, so I'm maybe lucky that I can also in the European market I've seen some
Okay.
as well.
Okay. Okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah, two reversals definitely that is yeah the hammers,
Yeah.
the shooting stars.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Two reversals, and I mean anything with the inside candle. Like I tell people, just if you match the inside candles, and
Okay.
and and that's the one I'd be like, man, a 5-year old can learn inside candles. You know, you find an inside candle. I mean, look at this inside candle right here. Boom. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
it gapped up in the morning. But I mean, look, waited for it to break, boom, and it continued, right? And one thing to always remember is twos normally bring other twos, right? And as you can see, there's a two, and then it went two down, and it continued for at least three candles, right? So,
Yeah.
and as you can see, two, 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 and it continued up. So normally, like where's one, two is another two, right? Um, Obviously, when I say inside candles, a 3-1 is like the holy grail, right? Obviously, this one didn't work out as planned, but it kind of ended up. What happened is if it almost came and broke and took out this level right here, right? Because you would have entered here, and it came and almost took it out by a couple of cents, yeah, close to a dollar. Um, these are what you call mother bar issues. Sometimes you get those big three candles. So this is actually a 1-3, and then went to a 3-1, right? So went from a Nirvana to a Holy Grail is what they call it, right? And it wound up getting stuck inside of there, and that's a lot of consolidation on higher time frames. And then when it finally broke out, as you can see, the type of force that it got, because obviously it went, almost $20 in what a
Yeah.
matter of 1, 2, 3, 4 days, right? When 20
Yeah.
moves $20 in 4 days, massive amount of money. So that's pretty good. But I just wanted to make sure I broke down those little small things. It's like I said, sometimes in videos you don't catch or people just don't really mention. It's like you say, you like the 2-2 reversal. That's good. Another one. Now I was saying this is almost a perfect setup. And the reason why it's not necessarily a perfect setup is because we don't have full time frame continuity. You see that down there in the corner?
Yeah.
Right? So the month is inside and the week is
Yep. Yep.
is
Yep. See
red, right?
that? Yeah.
And obviously we won't until we get up here, right? But I mean on a daily and going down to the hour
It's
and
red
different
as
things
well.
like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, but you can catch a move on it because it's gonna flip. It's gonna flip it'll flip green, right? Yeah, it'll flip green. Did I cut out? You can hear me?
Yeah. No, no, no.
All right,
I
all right,
hear.
all right. See
Yeah.
my internet tripping out on me, but yeah, like on the lower time frames, you still flip green and you still can kind of catch your move on it, but technically we wouldn't move up and take out the month or the weekly will be um green for a nice couple dollars, right? So this is inside. So we're not that far out because we can push and take this out in the next 2 days and then continue on. And as you can see, you got all my broadening formations. Have you understood broadening formations yet?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because price did not move in linears, right? It has to
Yeah,
go
it
up and
aggregates. Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
liquidity maybe because it has to
Mm-hmm.
go break, go grab liquidity and stuff. So definitely.
Yeah. All right, cool. Is there anything else you want to know? You tell me because this is your session.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
I
yeah.
because
No,
I'm
no, thanks.
because you actually already like you ain't starting from the bottom, and that's what I like. That's why I like people to get the course or already have an understanding and then get a one-on-one. So I'm not wasting nobody's time or money. We getting straight to the point, attacking
Yeah,
issues that you're having. So
yeah.
cool. Just let me know.
Cool, cool. From your YouTubes, I see a lot of QQQ options. Is that mainly what you trade? What you found?
Yeah, yeah,
How it
yeah,
works?
yeah. I found well, QQQ SPY and SPX. They're very liquid, right?
Yeah,
They move a lot during the day. Obviously, like right now, Q is moving an average of $9.29, on average daily, up and down either direction
yeah.
throughout the day. So, yeah, it's very simple. Like I said, I use this strategy for everything: penny stocks, penny options, um, futures, everything. But I just kind of just mostly push into QQQ.
Okay, so futures. Have you had successful in
Yeah,
had
I've had
success in
success.
futures?
I've had success. That's the great thing about it. This strategy you can use it for any basically any type of trading you do, rather it's crypto, anything. What I like about what Rob did when he made this strategy, when he built it up with all these years, rest in peace to him, is that he really broke down and got an understanding of what the algorithms are saying, right? And that was one of the things that he figured out, because technical analysis wasn't really working for him and different things like that. So what he figured out is what the algorithm is is doing, right? So when all the time frames are green, it's telling those algos buy, right? And you might get into a trade and you be like, man, I've been in this trade because I gotten trades at 9:45, 10 o'clock, and been all the way in them till 3:30, and then they finally break out, right? But that the time frames has been mostly green all day, and I'm like, this is gonna go, and most people probably would have got out and got frustrated or just said, oh, I'm gonna take whatever profits is there, or just took the loss, but when those time frames are all green, it's telling the algos to buy. When those time frames are all red, and it normally stays red, and it's pretty far away from the next time zone flipping, um, it tells me that it's telling the algos to sell. So that's actually what I like about the strat is you get an understanding of the algos because there's no real floor traders no more in the market. It's all computer programmed and telling the computers what to do, what to buy, when to sell. So that's kind of how you get a full understanding. So when I see a setup, like if this QQQ setup and it was full time frame continuity, which it pretty much it is, um, tomorrow I'm looking for that to go. You know what I mean? And what now with this 24-hour market, you kind of getting pushes at all times. And then what I do is I go down to the lower time frames and just find my way in, right? So like when you wake up and this might be well, shit, I mean, even in the post market, it's already done broke over this level, right? So it's already enforced. Um, I'm looking for a way in on the lower time frames, right? I'm looking for an actionable signal on these lower time frames, the 4 hour, the hour, or the 15. And I'm finding a way in. And then I'm looking for my magnitude. Where's my target? And look forward to take that out real quick and take position. So when you like I said, when your daily level break or your weekly level break and stuff like that, you gotta find your way in. Like that's the thing. Like, okay, it's already broke. So, I'm past that penny above my entry. Where do I go? So I'm gonna go down to the lower time frame, see what this is sitting there. All right, this is a two up. I'm gonna wait for the next hour candle and maybe see what that does. And if we get an actionable signal, I'm gonna go to the 15 or the 30. And the thing about the strat is it works on all these time frames. I mean, you got hybrid time frames like you got the 4 day, right? So obviously the next candle for this is obviously the 12th on Wednesday. You might mark it here and say when this breaks over here, I'm going to take it. It look good. Or like let's just say this is Tuesday, so it's Monday. Uh, let's say this candle right here is Monday the 11th, and you see this, you can mark it as the 4 day and say when this breaks, I'm going to take entry on it. That's what I mean. I'm going to add another part of the course, which won't have to be paid for because it's gonna be on hybrid time frames. That's why I say this course is dynamic because once you buy it, I add to it like when I feel like it. I give you the main
Yeah.
things and I can add to it when I feel like it, but you'll already get it and you'll get an alert that it's been added. And I'm going to talk about the hybrid time frames, which is like the 10 day, the 5 day, stuff like that, using the 6 hour, the 3 hour, because you can treat all these time frames all the way down to the 1 minute, right?
Yeah.
Um, but like I said, it's finding your way in. The main things you just always want to look for is time frame continuity being on your side and a way in or actionable signal on your time frames, right? Like earlier today, it was a setup. Let me see if I can find it. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find it. Is it about this time? Yeah, I seen this on the 15, and I believe the hour had gave us like the same type. Like this was forming right here on the hour. I seen that, and then I seen it on the 15. And as you can see, the 2-2 reversal, right? Hammer candle, boom. So let's just say, you was trading this, and you know, because this actually wasn't here. Let me actually put these lines back. I hope I ain't speaking too fast for you. Um, all right, so this is the day, right? We were waiting for that to break. It broke under, right? So we like, well, where did we get in? Obviously, it came down and took out this target here, right? Came down, wicked down, took it out. So then you're like, okay, what do I do now? Where can I find my way in? Well, you see this reversal coming, even though the time frame continuity wasn't there. This reversal came right here on the hour, right at 11:30.
Mhm.
So you could have waited for that to break and took this all the way back up to um right here at the daily, which I figured it will reject, somewhere right here. And you could have took profit right there. This is a profit target. Obviously, this is a profit target. Didn't all the way get there. Well, it actually it's taking it out in the post market, right? So that was a way in. Um, about 11:30. Could have waited though. Obviously 12. And as you can see, you got a reversal here, and then 12:45 was a reversal. You know what I mean? 2-2 and reversal and a continuation. So I mean, you just
Yeah.
got to find your way in once your levels break. That's all I'm saying. Like even here, all right. So it broke on the daily, right? Early in the morning, boom, it came down, right? I mean, where could you enter? You could have entered on this inside candle. It came down and took out that level, right? Or here you go. It's 2-2 reversal, right? On the
Hmm.
on
Yeah.
at 10 to 15. You see that, right? Because it already broke down. So it's like, where do I enter, right? Where do I
Yeah.
enter? Like
One,
this would
two,
have
bro.
faked, right? This would have faked you out right here, right? This would have faked you out. You would have entered here. You pushed over, basically took out this level and reversed back down, right? But time frame continuity would have told you it wouldn't have been a good idea to take calls here, right? Because of the fact that all the time frames was red. Obviously, everything was down. It wasn't even the 60 wasn't even green, right? So it lets you know that they was gonna be selling this for most of the day, which they did. So you could have actually took puts here or obviously sold here and came on down and took profit down here. And then the thing about it is not everything gonna be perfect. Like I said, constant time frame continuity is important. But what would have happened is your lower time frame continuity would have kicked in, right? You would have said, well, I can take a quick scout if I wanted to, right? You would have gotten here. All of this would have been green on that 5 minute reversal, like right here, right?
Yeah.
Boom, this would have broke over. The 5 minute would have went green, the 15, stuff like that. And you just could have took a little small scout. That's why I say you find your way in. I like to just trying to stay closer to the 15 while I'm in the middle of a trade and the hour. My internet's tripping again, so I hope it ain't cutting out on you. Um, Let me give it a sec. Hold on. You still
No,
hear me, right?
I think a little. No, I
All
think
right,
so far
cool.
no.
All right, cool. All right. Um,
Yeah, I can hear
So
you.
yeah, so it's mostly just finding your way in after those levels break on those higher time frames, right? And going down to your hour and your 4 hour and stuff like that. Like I said, you can use the 2 hour and the 3 hour and stuff like that too, but that's more advanced. But your most simplest is just keeping it simple. Daily, 4 hour, hour, 15. You can check your 30 and you can use your 5 to kind of manage the trade once you in and find your way in. And The most simplest you keep it, the easier it is. Like the strat is the most simple strategy ever, but it makes it you have an understanding of every other strategy that's out there, right? It makes it so much easier to understand, like even technical analysis, supply and demand, and all those different things, right? It is price wanting to take out levels and coming back down, even with ICT. That's why sometimes I mix ICT with the strat, which I'm going to add to the more advanced course with the hybrid time frames, right? Which is something you can get into. And I think you said about liquidity, so you know a little bit about ICT, right?
Yeah, yeah, a little bit. Yeah, fair
Yeah, yeah,
value
yeah.
gaps.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I honestly,
I
the strat and
yeah,
fair value gaps work amazing, right? So, do you know about the oil break or the gap and crap
yeah,
and the gap and go? All right, so you already know how to use that too.
yeah, yeah. Definitely, definitely the orb. Yeah, but I've seen the orb on that too. Yeah,
Yeah,
what I've
that's one of
noticed
my
is
favorites. But go ahead too.
okay. Oh, go ahead. Can you please explain why?
Oh, why? The oil break, man. All right, let me see. Let me try
Because
to find it.
yesterday, right? Didn't you take one yesterday? I thought
Yeah, I took one yesterday. It was pretty good. Yeah. All right.
because
So this will be your oil break, right? This will be that 9:30. This will be a 9:30 candle. Let me make that 15. 15 down, right? So even if you don't have a gap, because not every morning you're gonna have a gap, right?
no,
So just the day, right? All right, cool. Your next candle open. Most people be like, well, where would you kind of enter? All right, cool. So you got your 15, you're looking for your next 15. You don't really get much. There's two ways you can play it. You can move it, right, and play the inside candle and maybe look for a move to the downside and take out this magnitude or this magnitude, right? Or what I like to do also, what you want to pay attention to here is, and it should make perfect sense, right? I'm gonna go to this. 50%,
mm,
50% of that candle, right? All right. So this is Fibonacci. This is a Fibonacci. I just used all move and removed all the lines and just used the 50% strategy. You see, I got 50% of that candle and couldn't push over,
yeah,
right? Because this is exactly 50%, right? Well, I'll make sure my mark say, but it's about exact 50% right here, right? I got my magnets off. Sure, I got it. You see, how I like tested right there at that 50%. I'm just gonna wait. Now you got two things you can do here. You could either take this entry here and let that be your target, or you can wait for it to break, right? You can wait for it to
mm,
break, and when it's breaking, it's breaking at orb level, because basically all it did was come down, um, consolidate, retest, push through a little bit, retested that 50% level again, couldn't get through, and then broke down, right? And boom, that's a trade, right? You wait 15 minutes. Actually, what happened is you waited about what is that? Till 10:15 10:30, and it finally broke the orb level and it broke. And then what happened here was it came back in, retested the area, right? Today. This is today. It broke over the 50, right? So you could have took entry somewhere, found a way in on a lower time frame. But it still didn't break orb today. Like no matter what it did today, it still didn't break the orb, the higher part of the orb. You know what I'm saying? And depending on how you position size yourself, this can be your stop, and obviously this could be your entry, right? Now it can be pretty wide sometimes, so that's also just being mindful and having instinct of a trader. Um, and then sometimes you just can add to your position if it don't break over, and when it's coming back down, and just take profit along the way, right? So that's why I like it, because like the market can open, I can get the move I want in 15 minutes, and sometimes I'm done for the day. You know what I mean? Like market
yeah,
opens 9:45. I'm ready to take entry. It's breaking to the downside to the upside. You know, I get that clear breakthrough in the 15 minutes. Sometimes, another 20, 15 to 30 minutes, and I'm through for the day, right? Especially if it goes and decides the gap fill. I believe it gap filled yesterday. I think that's the one I posted, the one I took yesterday, and it filled that gap. Um, yeah, it had broken and it filled that gap, because this is it right here. This is the 15, right? So that's what I mean. Like sometimes you got smaller 15-minute candles that open. So you can really use that as your stop that it won't break or add in. And then boom, it broke here. I mean, and look at that. I mean, it teetered around, but it still didn't take out 50% of this candle. So there was no reason to get out. And once again, you can use this Fibonacci thing here again and say, all right, cool. I'm
Mm.
gonna put this here. It didn't even break 50%. So I had no reason to get out. And I held that thing and came on down to here and got out. So, and then it actually came back up again, didn't take out 50% of this big candle, right? Well, actually, it broke over. And sometimes you got to be patient. And then, boom, it
Mm.
came on down. And the 345, look, like something like these patterns just be over and over and over again and over. They happen over and over and over again where you start to just see it.
Oh,
It's like, I don't know what type of schedule you got, but if sometimes you just can sit and watch the market, even if you ain't trading, like, yeah, when you get advanced, 20, 30 minutes, an hour in the market, you done, you stop. I, when I first started trading, I sat and watched the market from open to close every day and just watch patterns. And I would go through 100 plus tickers every day just to start recognizing moves. And what happens is you'll start to recognize what things do and what type of patterns each stop make every day. Like last week or the week before, right around the government shutdown, the market did the same thing 5 days in a row. Pushed up hard in the morning and it just got stuck up there and then it just plummeted to the ground, right? And it did that 5 days straight. I said, same, and I was in a Discord and I said, same move, day four, day one, same move, day two, same move, day three, same move, day four, same move, day five. And it did the same thing 3 days straight. 5 days straight. I'm sorry. Like
okay.
so, when you start to pay attention, you'll start to see things, and it'll get to the point where you won't even need most of these lines on your chart because you'll just see it. You get what I'm saying? You'll just start to see it over and over. So that's another thing. I will flip through charts every night. I mark them up, see what it does, see how it's moving, look at the time frame continuity and different things like that, and just keep looking and just keep seeing the moves that it make, and it'll become second nature to you. So
Yeah. Huh. Do you have like a favorite time that you they like to
trade.
trade or not or the time to avoid
So what I do
or
is I wake up in the morning. I do all my charting at night.
yeah.
I move all my lines. I wake up in the morning, my daily lines, if it's the week changing, if the month's changing, all of that. I add all of those from the 12 down, depending on the stock and depending on how it looks, right? I mark the yearly, I mark everything. Um, Not every day, but like, start of the year, I normally mark that. When like January comes, you should mark that. When the start of a month, I make sure I move those, all of that. I wake up, I look at the market. Obviously, all my alerts gonna be going off because stuff then gapped up everything. And every one of those alerts, I go through and flip through and see like how they setting up. And then I start to move my 15-minute lines around for the oil from those stocks that I actually like. So normally between 9:45, I'm trying to take my first trade or see what I'm really working with. And then later in the day, lately has been pretty good. Um, Obviously like here, it's 12 o'clock and it started to get pretty good and reverse the other way. And then I also come to notice that if a stock push up mostly all day, a lot of times later in the day, they start to sell it off. So I'll pay attention to that. Sometimes I take trades at 3 o'clock. The options premiums are cheaper, stuff like that. They start to drop down, and I take trades then. Sometimes it's first thing in the morning, 9:45. I'm in my trade. I'm done by 10, and it's over with. So I really don't have a certain time. I done caught perfect trades at 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock during lunch. People be like, "Oh, you should be all the volumes gone." Sometimes it just works out. So I don't really have a certain time that I actually trade. I set alerts and then I wait for them to go off, and then I move lines around, I move levels around, and add the 15 minute or an hour. Like if I see the hour setting up and it's got 30 minutes left in an hour, I can go ahead and mark that, and I go about my day. Like if I'm in the house And then when that alert goes off, I come to the computer and see if I can find my way in. Right. That's just the best way to do it. Now, but normally I would just sit from, like 8 hours and just sit in front of the computer if I had the time. It was a day off or something like that. And the thing is just be active, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just the
Yeah.
15 minute,
Okay.
this the hour, move the line, put an hour, what's the name on it? Like I got everything. I don't know if you can see it, but I have literally everything set for everything, from the hour to 2 day to week. And I just move them, pre-market. Sometime I go and turn on my pre-market levels and check that, the previous week high, low, everything. I got them all there. So I just can quickly just pick them out and place them on the chart. And I just be active. You know what I mean? Like if that's my target, I'm gonna put this here. I'm gonna put an alert there. Bloop. I might take 50% of my position halfway up that candle, and I'm gonna move my stop. I mostly use mental stop, but because I trade options, it's a little tight sometimes with options how they move to use a physical stop. But yeah, I actively move from the 5 minute to 15. Everything I move those lines around, and it just keeps my eyes visually seeing what's going on. Like I be mindful. That's why I actually like this Strat candle levels open because it lets me know how much it's going to take for something to go green or flip back red or vice versa. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I actually like that because it gives me visual.
Yeah.
The lines are mostly just visual. It's going to be a point where you are going to just see what is going on with your eyes. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But like, I don't really put many broad informations because I can see it with my eyes now. You know what I mean? But these, putting them on your chart is to help you to train your eyes to see what's going on. Yep. Anything else?
Yeah. Oh, cool. Cool. Yeah, definitely.
I'm using workspace. So we got
Do,
we got 5 minutes, right? What
yeah.
gonna happen is I'm gonna send you a new link if this
Yeah.
cuts out, and then we continue the other because it's been 40. It gives me 40, so we got another 20 minutes. So
Yeah. All right. Cool. 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 Do you use any other like lines like support resistance or anything like that?
nope. Honestly,
Other
I
indicators?
I just use the strat and I use I think I got it on here. Let me see. I have it on here. Thought I had it on here. So, indicators. Stop being weird. I do use this, but like I said, this is more advanced. These are the only ones I use for the strat, and then I use the FVG one, right? And I use the nephew Sam's FVG, and that is the one I use, and it just gives me an idea where we probably get a rejection if I'm in a trade and I'm trying to continue to see um where it's gonna like I'm trying to get to this magnitude, but we might have some resistance here. So I mostly use that, and is this the ICT? I mostly use that to tell me like, okay, we might get some teetering around, in this zone, right? It's a strong level. It's an hour. We might get some teetering around in this zone, or I said, look, we might get a bounce because obviously this is a fair value give to the upside. So I do use it. I click it on and off mostly, but it works. Can you see it? FVG,
Yeah.
nephew Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
use
Yeah.
that.
Okay. Cool.
Like I said, but if you're gonna use this, still have a kind of an idea of how the fair value gap work. The thing about the strat is, like I said, the strat allows you to understand so many other strategies. Like once you get an understanding of what a what the strat is, like the three candle is basically just a liquidity grab up or down, right? It drops
Yeah.
down, goes up, it consolidates, boom, and you kind of get that idea of what um kind of is happening, like right, like these right here is technically a three candle, and then it came back into the inside about 50% of that three candle and bounced right there at this fair value gap, right? That 50% and pushed on up. So it kind of gives you that idea, like, oh shit, that's how that fair value gaps work. That's nothing but a three candle on a higher time frame, and boom. You know what I mean? So it kind of gives you an idea how all those different things work once you get an idea of the strat. Like broadening formations is nothing but like supply and demand. It goes up and gets that supply, hit some stop losses, come back down, take out the bottom half, and then continue on where it's going. So it kind of gives you that full idea. That's why I say it's like the strat is like trading on training wheels, and you can use it forever, but it continue to let you to understand different strategies you may have been learning. And you just like, man, how like I don't really understand this strategy, but the strat kind of helps you when you start to really understand how the strat work, and then continue to use it in conjunction with ICT or supply and demand and different things like that. Because you're gonna see the strat and then you're gonna see, oh, that's how that works. Like if you leave these fair value gaps on and follow the strat, you'll see that most of the time you get exactly what you're looking for from both of them.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Cool. All
I
right.
hope I hope you're getting something out of this. I know I talk kind of fast, but I hope you're getting kind of something out of this. Like I said, when you've been trading for a long time, sometimes you can
Oh,
start to speak like somebody already knows. So I just want to make sure I'm not going too far, too deep into something and not really breaking down what I'm saying. So
no, 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 definitely. No, no. This is really informative. Definitely. Yeah, I appreciate hearing your perspective, what you do and everything like that too. So I'm writing some notes here, definitely.
okay, okay,
Um,
cool, cool. I'm glad you're taking notes.
um,
What I'm
yeah,
going to do, I'm going to set up another Zoom meet. I'm going to save this